When basketball fans talk about greatness, emotions always run high. And this time, the debate exploded after comments about LeBron James, and the GOAT conversation went viral across social media. But what nobody expected was the reaction from one of the most respected veterans the game has ever seen, Vince Carter. According to insiders, Carter wasn't impressed. Not with the headlines, not with the comparisons, and definitely not with what he sees as a narrative that ignores the true meaning of dominance in the NBA. In private conversations that quickly spread through basketball circles, Carter reportedly made it clear, greatness isn't just about stats, it's about impact, fear, and the ability to control an era. For Carter, dominance means when opponents change their entire game plan because of one player. It means when arenas fall silent the moment you touch the ball. It means when your presence alone reshapes the league. And while he acknowledged LeBron's longevity and achievements, Carter is said to believe that modern narratives sometimes confuse consistency with total domination. He pointed to past legends who didn't just win games. They owned the moment, the spotlight, and the psychological battle before the tip-off. Carter's perspective comes from experience. He played through multiple eras of basketball. He faced superstars at their peak. He saw firsthand what true dominance looked like on the court, the kind that didn't just fill stat sheets, but left a lasting imprint on the league. Sources say Carter's comments weren't meant as disrespect, but rather as a reminder that greatness can't be measured by numbers alone. It's about aura. It's about influence. It's about whether the league revolved around you or simply adjusted to you. The moment those remarks surfaced, fans split into two camps. Some defended LeBron, pointing to his championships, records, and unmatched longevity. Others backed Carter's view, arguing that dominance isn't just about playing long. It's about defining an era so completely that nobody questions who ruled it. And just like that, the GOAT debate reignited once again. Because in basketball, greatness isn't a settled argument. It's a conversation that evolves with every generation, every highlight, and every voice willing to challenge the narrative. One thing is certain, when legends speak, the basketball world listens. And whether you agree with Carter or not, his comments prove that the fight for basketball immortality isn't over. Not even close. As the debate kept spreading online, the reaction inside the basketball world only grew louder. Former players, analysts, and fans began revisiting old footage, old rivalries, and old memories, trying to define what true dominance really means. And once again, the name Vince Carter kept coming up, not because he was chasing headlines, but because he represents an era where respect wasn't given. It was earned through battles on the court. Carter reportedly emphasized that greatness isn't something you announce. It's something opponents feel. He spoke about how legends of the past carried a different kind of weight, a presence that could shift momentum before the game even started. According to those close to the conversation, Carter believes the modern era sometimes rushes to crown greatness while the story is still being written. And that's where his comments about LeBron James truly struck a nerve. Because LeBron's career has been built on longevity, versatility, and unmatched production. But Carter's point wasn't about denying those accomplishments. It was about asking a deeper question. Does sustained excellence automatically equal undisputed dominance? Or does true dominance require a level of fear and inevitability that defines an entire generation? The moment this perspective hit social media, reactions exploded. Others pushed back hard, arguing that LeBron's ability to remain elite across decades is itself the greatest dominance the sport has ever seen. Suddenly, the debate wasn't just about rings or stats anymore. It became about philosophy, about what the word GOAT truly means. Is it the player who ruled the league for a stretch of time with unmatched authority, or the one who reshaped the game for the longest period possible? Carter's comments didn't end the debate. They fueled it. Because when someone who survived multiple eras speaks about greatness, people listen differently. And as the basketball world keeps arguing, one truth remains. Legacies aren't built in highlights. They're built in memories, rivalries, and the way a player makes the world feel when the ball is in their hands. The GOAT conversation isn't over. It never will be. Because every generation writes its own definition of greatness. And the next chapter is still being played. As the dust from the debate slowly settled, one thing became clear. This wasn't just another sports argument. It had turned into a clash of eras, philosophies, and definitions of greatness. Because when legends like Vince Carter speak, they don't just share opinions. They challenge the way history is written. Carter's message, whether intentional or not, forced fans to look beyond highlights and headlines, to ask whether greatness is about domination at a peak or endurance across time. And in the center of it all stands LeBron James, a player whose career has defied expectations, broken records, and stretched the limits of longevity in professional basketball. But with that greatness comes scrutiny, because the higher a player climbs, the louder the voices become below. Some say LeBron's legacy is untouchable, a career built on excellence no one has matched. Others argue that true dominance isn't measured in years played, but in the fear a player instills when everything is on the line. And that's why this debate refuses to die. Because the GOAT conversation isn't just about one player. It's about how each generation defines greatness. It's about whether history belongs to the most consistent or the most unstoppable. Carter's comments didn't close the book. They added another chapter, one that reminds us basketball isn't just a game of numbers. It's a game of moments, emotions, and legacy. And as long as fans argue, compare, and remember, the fight for basketball immortality will never end. So the real question isn't who won this debate. The real question is, who will history remember as the player who truly owned their era? Because in the end, stats fade, narratives shift, but legacy lasts forever. But even after the headlines faded, the conversation refused to disappear. Because what Vince Carter brought up wasn't just about one player, it was about how the game itself has changed. He reportedly told those around him that every era creates its own version of greatness. Different rules, different pace, different pressures. And that means comparing legends isn't as simple as stacking numbers side by side. Carter knows this better than most. He played in a time where physical defense ruled the paint, where rivalries weren't built on tweets, they were built on hard fouls and playoff battles. So when he speaks about dominance, he's speaking from scars, from experience, from nights when survival in the league meant more than stat lines. Still, no matter how the debate twists, the spotlight always swings back to LeBron James. Because LeBron's story isn't just about basketball. It's about expectation. From the moment he entered the league, he wasn't just asked to be great. He was asked to be legendary. Every season became a test. Every finals run, a judgment. Every loss, a headline. And somehow, through all of it, he kept producing.